Hi, Marty McCoy from Bobaflex.
Shaun from Bobaflex.
I am one of the lead singers, he's one of the lead singers, and we are a rock and roll band out of West Virginia that's doing everything on our own, and it seems to be the best way right now. We've been on record labels, and it went bankrupt. We had major record deals come to the table, and it's just not the way the future's
going. Yeah,
there's this thing called iTunes that is making us.
It's changed everything.
Yeah.
And also the information superhighway. You may have heard of that. That's done a little something for everything. So yep.
So it's helped independent artists like ourselves actually stay alive and survive in this day and age, and it's kind of the best thing that's ever happened to us. Once we got away from the record labels, we actually got to keep the money that we were making, and there was a lot of it coming in.
Right. Yeah, we've got a full crew now, and
bought a bus.
Yeah, I got a few bones in my pocket. So already I'm beating the label game already. So.
We tour constantly, about 250,000 shows a year, which is impossible, but somehow we pull it off because we have a great crew and a good bunch of crazy drivers. Working on a new record right now, which is probably going to come out solely on iTunes, wouldn't you say? You think
yeah, I think that's the new thing. We'll have the newest version of 8-track called a CD. You may have heard of it before, and it'll be at the table only.
It's almost become merchandise these days.
Absolutely, it's become a piece of that the hardcore fan wants. People now are, iPhones and smartphones and all that stuff. Everybody's downloading stuff on their phones, and CD players are going to be something that you wipe the dust off of and pull out your.
That's what Daddy used to listen to. So.
Yeah. But things are going really well for us. Working on a new record. Our live show is on fire. We're getting ready to not take time off, but not tour as hard for the next 3 months to work on this new record. Radio's been really kind to us. We have a new single out right now, the Simon & Garfunkel cover, Sound of Silence.
Nice.
And I don't know how that can't blow up. It's already been a huge hit, so we've got our fingers crossed on that
again, huh?
Yeah.
We did the video just premiered on loudwire.com, and so it's doing really well.
You can see it on the official Bobaflex YouTube channel.
Yep. There's on Facebook and the official Bobaflex.com.
Very cool. Where are you guys based out of?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. There's cell phones and internet, all that stuff.
I got rid of the horses a few years ago. Now we're cars and highways and all that good stuff. And we always get asked, we're descendants from McCoy and Hatfield feud, especially now that
it's a good movie.
Yes, it was.
Good.
Yeah,
good flick.
Kevin Costner did a great job, and
Bill Paxton was a solid McCoy.
He was. He reminds me of my daddy.
Yeah,
you guys still feuding down there?
No,
but we're not Bible. These McCoys ain't Bible thumping like Bill Paxton's character at all.
He thumped it pretty good.
I think we're siding with the other side a little more.
You said that you were signed before.
Yeah, we were on. We had.
How long was that? What was that?
We were on Eclipse Records for a little while,
and then we did 2 albums with TBT Records.
TBT Records,
which is they did the first 9 Inch Nails record, Pretty Hate Machine. They're known for Little John Ying and Seven Dust. And they weren't a bad label, they just ran out of money, and like a lot of labels went bankrupt and folded. Right. And we were caught in a big legal thing, and a bank owned us like you'd own a house in a bankruptcy for like 2 years. But we fought it out, sold t-shirts, couldn't make music until we got away from the bank, got away from them, and did an EP, and then put out our album Hell in My Heart last year. And it's funded a lot of things.
It's done really well, and got a lot of, a lot of good reviews, and we had we went to radio ourselves and tried it out ourselves and started figuring out that game a lot, and the song "Bury Me With My Guns" kind of changed our lives, kind of got us to a level where we could remain being a band and do more records and that kind of thing. So I mean, we're really excited for the next record.
And we also learned a lot about the promotions game, how much things cost and how it really works. And once it dawned on us, we're like, oh, this is all the label did. Except, at certain times they had more money than we do now, but like I said, we're getting it all back. So we're excited. We got a new EP coming out probably in February. We're working on it all fall, and things are going well. Man.
Doing a lot of videos. I think that's kind of the new thing. It's always been the thing, but more content on the internet and more videos and kids today watching the little screensaver bounce around while you're listening to the band, your favorite band. That's over with. Right. So we got our heads in the game, and we're doing videos for other people and videos for ourselves, and we're starting to get good at that, and it's a lot of fun. And that seems to be kind of the biggest promotion that we've got into is radio and videos.
Nice.
And letting these certain sites like Loudwire and Revolver and stuff premiere them, and you kind of get a really big spike in the beginning, and it seems to be getting our name out there pretty quick.
Very cool. You just mentioned something about helping other artists out with their videos.
Absolutely.
That's been a big key issue with us here at MusicCon is we've noticed a lot. You know, you get a band on, you know, that has 20 million YouTube followers, and they're not mentioning their friends.
Right.
You know, they're not mentioning who they're listening to now, which could do nothing but help the industry as a whole.
Absolutely.
As far as, you know, logically speaking. But why do you think that isn't happening more often?
Well, because everybody wants their piece of the pie and doesn't want anyone to have a little small crumb. Of
We don't do it because we're afraid they'll like our friends' bands more than us. So,
that's probably the general consensus. I don't know. You know, it's like the music industry has changed so much. I think there's plenty of room out there for everybody. The live show thing is kind of, I'm seeing it more and more. There's a rock revolution happening in these smaller towns, and you know, the bigger cities are, get out of here. The bigger cities are kind of, you know, there's the dubstep thing going on and the dance parties and all that stuff. But out in the smaller towns, and you know, like the Rockford, Illinois, and Joliet's and things like that, these rock shows are starting to happen again, and people are starting to really show up, and it's kind of a blue collar kind of, you know, rock and roll, hard working kind of thing, and it's great, you know. I had a really great point and I lost it because it's flying around my face. But it's the $10 shows are who's packing the clubs now.
Right.
You know, people weren't given the $50 tickets. I mean, they're still coming to see the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. But
you know, McCoy still draws a few heads.
Yeah, he's still doing his thing. But it's like the $10 tickets and the hard-working bands, like, you know, bands like I Empire and Nonpoint and Us and Wayland and bands like that are starting to pack these clubs right outside the cities, and I think that's brilliant. I think, you know, several $1,000s outside Chicago is just the same as
right.
You know,
Radio for some secondary markets.
Well, I'm sure the economy has a lot to do with it too.
It does.
We just had legends, ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner had to tour together, and they still didn't sell out our local arena.
Yeah.
You know, and they were offering $10 tickets at the end, and
Oh,
still didn't sell out. Our local heroes here, Cheap Trick, you know, legends around the world.
Legend in my book for sure.
They sold out about half of our local arena here, and they're our hometown boys. So I'm sure the economy has a lot to do with that. But
economy, I mean, now you can watch a band's total performance on your telephone.
Yeah, that and YouTube's heard it, and plus, you know, when you get to that age, some of your fans are dead.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
I mean, Guitar Heroes have.
I try to sell it straight.
Guitar Heroes helped the younger generation get back into rock and roll, and you know, the death metal thing seems like it's kind of hit its peak, and
there's a little integrity issue here and there in the industry. You know, like, well, I think bands need to get back to grassroots rock, not necessarily go back and be like a hippie band. I don't mean that way, but just be a little more honest. I see a lot of bands getting sold now. They're almost like pretty much a dance track with a little guitar on top, and then but then they market the band as a band and have like a guy named Billy, Johnny, and Ted. And it's like, they're not really, I mean, the album's really not them. The new Maroon 5 album is totally produced and pop, where you can't even tell it's the band anymore, except, you know, his voice. And I think there's a few issues with that, but there are some straightforward rock bands out there. And I think we need to get back to that, not try to emulate dance or hip hop so much. We already went through that era. Let's not go there again.
And it's another thing, like bands are getting back out and shaking hands and doing the grassroots thing, and you're learning about bands now because they're coming to your towns, and because, you know, their live show is coming into an area that's accessible to you, and you know, it makes you stand out instead of just having, you know, 20 million views on YouTube. When you actually shake the hand of a fan that bought your record, it'll be your fan forever.
Right.
And I think that's a good thing. I mean, it's a long process, but you know, that's the way that we've been doing it for a long time. You know, with the record labels falling apart and us not getting the $20 billion put behind us. The thing that's really helped us a lot is getting out there on the road, beating the street, and meeting the people.
Right.
And we're drawing, and we're out drawing a lot of these bands that have had $20 million put behind them. Man, that feels good.
You mentioned getting out there and shaking hands.
Yeah.
Back in the '80s when the hair bands blew up, I have a soft spot for that era.
So
But when that blew up, you know, I remember, you know, watching those when we had MTV and they actually played music on there. You saw these videos, and they were out there on the strip putting up posters and handing out flyers and shaking hands.
Yeah.
And that whole scene blew up.
Absolutely.
Local bands especially, I don't see anybody doing that anymore. I mean, that's important.
We've done it a million times and gone to places that we've never been before and sit and hang out, and the local band will bring in 10 of their friends and they'll play their god-awful half-hour set, and then all their friends will leave and they'll leave and won't even watch the rest of the show. It's like, and they say the scene sucks around here. It's like, your band sucks and your attitude toward the scene sucks.
A lot of it's clubs too. The clubs want to cover their costs by doing the old pay-to-play thing. So they have bands sell tickets. Well, a lot of the bands sometimes just have a job and they buy their spots, but they're not worried about quality entertainment. Like if the bar got a good reputation for having good bands on any given night that you might listen to.
The Machine Shop in
Flint, Michigan's run properly.
It's doing it right.
They have tryouts. You can't just go in there and sell tickets and play. It's almost the equivalent of if you brought in, say, a well-known comedian, but to pay for him that night, just in case you have a flop, you hire 6 local comedians who aren't funny at all and actually drive people out of the comedy club.
Right.
Well, you're a comedy club. You covered your costs, but you have comedians who aren't funny. Hence, same with rock clubs. You're lining up 5, 6 bands who don't know how to tune their own drum kit, and definitely most of them
not a guitar tuner on the stage.
Right.
Feedback, and the guy can't sing. He can just do his Cookie Monster voice, and that's it.
He's got 10 of his friends.
We've been everywhere, and I'm not trying to knock or negativity never helps, but there's probably close to 8 million of those bands opening for any kind of band everywhere.
And it feels like the hard work and time that we had put in learning to sing and play our guitars, it's like, well, you're wasting everybody's time.
And it runs people out of the club, especially a weeknight,
Yeah.
If I hear one more guy check in death metal voice going, I'm like, oh man, he's making his monster voice. Here we go.
And there's bands like that are good. That's the thing, what people don't realize. In order to play that music, you have to be good on your instrument.
Yeah, you're not going to just play, you shouldn't go out in public and try to play Lamb of God songs because you think you're pretty good.
Yeah, people didn't realize Pantera had this huge surge and bands wanting to sound like Pantera. They don't realize that the drummer and the guitar player are 2 of the best musicians on the planet.
Right.
And Phil Anselmo is a great singer. It's not, they got the wrong idea. They grabbed the wrong parts of the band.
Right.
Thought they'd just get real drunk before and have a distorted guitar and
scream at everyone. It's like, and you ruined the local scenes and you pissed everybody. I'm pissed off about it. I can't stand it anymore.
Right.
It's like I want to hear, but it is happening. There's a revolution happening, and kids are learning to play their guitars and learning to turn their distortion down so that you can tell what they're playing, and learning to sing, and it's happening. And we always praise a band whether they're good or not if they're doing something that's original and not screaming and driving me insane. To me, it sounds like someone throwing a fit. And
it's cathartic baby.
I'm in my older age.
I'm born.
I'm in my older age. And
we all did it when we were a day old, but come on.
Yeah, I'm in my older age and I don't deal with fit throwers very well anymore.
Right.
But there are some good bands out there. There's some really good bands out there, and they're younger, and they're some of these bands that are a lot younger blow me away. The kind of music that they're playing, I'm like, where did you even hear this stuff? And they're busting out vinyl records and playing things that I've never heard of.
Breaking out their dad's 8 tracks.
Yeah. Their dads were cool enough to let them listen to the records when they were kids, and with the labels going away and Pro Tools and you don't have to pay $100,000 for a guy to produce your record anymore. You can get a great sounding record in your basement if you know what you're doing.
Right.
And the artist is coming back, and it's not so polished pop bullshit anymore. You know what I mean? Now you're getting these records that are going a little bit farther out there, and they're going to continue to do the same thing, and that's good. That's what we need. We need an album that you get that you want to listen to from the beginning to the end. Now you don't just buy it for 2 songs. And that's just
the talent. The songs have to be